All right, good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate you hopping on the webinar today. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here from the 360 Advantage program. The 360 Advantage program is a new program that is available now to all Core Insurance Holdings employees. This is a new preventative care management program that will provide you with relevant health information that is sent via text messaging. This program does not impact any of your existing coverages or health plans offered by CORE. This is a completely separate standalone offering from all of your other health benefits. Even if your health benefits are not through a CORE and maybe are through a spouse, or maybe if you're on the younger side, if you're still on your parents' plan, again, this is completely separate and does not have any impact on those other existing coverages. Employees that are enrolled in the 360 program receive a package of benefits that are fully funded by payroll tax savings that does not decrease their net take home pay. And that's probably the most important takeaway today, that in most voluntary benefit offerings, as you all are also in the insurance space, you know that usually that reduces take home pay because it's a straight deduction. Whereas with the 360 program, as we'll go through the presentation, you'll see that the payroll taxes that you're already contributing to will be funding the cost of that with no reduction to your net take home pay. At minimum, employees must complete a survey that's sent out
We
once a
didn't
year.
start yet.
It is literally a two-question survey that will ask you, how would you like to receive information via text or via email? And what kind of health information? Information may be about cardiac health, maybe about diabetes, disease management. So there's a lot of different health topics that you can receive information about, and that's part of the compliance of the program in order to be able to use those payroll tax savings to fund the cost of the plans that we're going to be reviewing. All of the plans are guaranteed issue, not only for yourself as the employee, but also for your spouse and or any dependent children up to the age of 26. There is no medical underwriting, physicals, or any health or medical questions that will be asked. We're not even asking if an employee uses tobacco products because of the block of business that we have with Allstate and Delta, who are the carriers for the program. There is no medical underwriting required, as everything is guaranteed issue. As I mentioned, Allstate and Delta are the carriers for this program, and the benefits, as we mentioned, are at no decrease or impact to your net take-home pay because it's fully funded by those payroll tax savings. As an employee, there are 7 options that you can choose from. Every employee will have a benefits budget allocated to them that's based on their payroll information, marital status, and in essence, how an employee completes their W-4. So that information is how we've been able to underwrite and come up with a budget of monies per employee, of what they have available to spend. And if you stay under that budget, your net pay is not reduced. Employees can choose from any of the 7 options, and I'll quickly highlight them, and then we'll go into each of them in more detail. The first 2 are dental and vision. Both of those are offered through Delta. The dental plan has 2 options, which we'll cover in more detail coming up. And the vision plan is also a very benefit-rich option, also offered through Delta. The other 5 plans that you see on your screen include whole life insurance, accident insurance, hospital indemnity insurance, critical illness insurance, and identity theft protection insurance. Those 5 are offered through Allstate. And again, because every full-time benefit eligible employee has a budget of monies that they can use to allocate to any of these coverages, you as the employer are in the driver's seat as to what coverages you'd like. For example, we've had people that have said, I want my entire budget used into as much life insurance as it can get me. That's an option. Or employees, for the most part, will be able to get 3 or more plans, depending on whether it's single coverage, parent and child, family to adults, because you can also be very a la carte with who you choose to enroll in what coverages. So while maybe the dental plan may be an option that you choose for family coverage, maybe you're the only one in the family who uses glasses and needs the vision plan just for single coverage. So again, very a la carte how you allocate the budget that you have and what plans you choose to enroll in. And we'll get started with the first one, which is a Delta Dental plan. It is a PPO plan, and you have 2 options, Plan 1 and Plan 2. Both options have the same coverage towards preventative, which is 100%. So your cleanings, x-rays, sealants for dependent children. Your basic work, which includes fillings and simple tooth extractions, those are covered at 80%. And your major work, which includes crowns, bridge work, dentures, those are covered at 50%. Plan 1 covers up to a $1,500 calendar max. Plan 2 has a $2,500 calendar max. What's also good about Plan 2 and why we see much higher enrollment in that is because not only do you have a higher calendar max, but it also has a separate line item lifetime max for orthodontia for children up to the age of 26. That is $2,000. Also in Plan 2, you have coverage towards dental implants, which is also a very unique benefit-rich item. One of the top questions that we get is, how do I use this with my current coverage? So this dental plan through the 360 program would function as your secondary coverage. So in essence, you would be able to present both cards to your dentist and let them know which is your primary, which is the one through your employer, or if you have coverage, let's say through your spouse. 360 functions as your secondary. I can tell you that with a very large group that we just completed enrollment on, the dental was very important for them and was the number one plan because dependent children usually age out either at the age of 19 or if they're a full-time student at the age of 23, whereas with our dental as well as all of the other coverages, dependent children stay on until the end of the year in which they turn 26. So for that group, dependents that had aged off of dental have now been able to come back on. And also, the ortho lifetime $2,000 max can be combined with your primary coverage. So if, let's say, your primary coverage has, let's say, $1,000 towards ortho, our plan has $2,000, you can take that $3,000 combined and take it right off the top of the full cost of your child's orthodontic treatment. So again, very benefit-rich items. You would get an ID card in anticipation of the May 1st effective date. And again, you would be presenting both cards to your provider's office. And if, God forbid, you lose your card or you forget to bring it with you, it's all tracked by the employee's social security number anyway. So that's how they will find you in the claim system. But that is the first plan option, which is the Delta Dental plan. And again, as we're going through the presentation, please feel free to put your questions in through the chat, and we will get to them. The next plan option is the Delta Vision plan. Again, it is through Delta, but it utilizes the VSP network, which is the nation's largest vision network. And with this vision plan, you have a routine eye exam that's included, as well as a $200 allowance towards frames and a $200 allowance towards contact lenses, both in the same calendar year. Usually vision plans have one benefit in lieu of the other during the calendar year, whereas this plan is very benefit rich with both allowances being able to be used in the same calendar year. And you can also use this if, in case by the time this goes live, you've already maybe gotten your pair of glasses for the year. This can serve as for a second pair, and also prescription sunglasses would also be covered as well. And again, you would receive an ID card for the Delta Vision plan that you can use at any VSP provider. You do have out-of-network benefits with the vision plan as well. But again, your $200 allowance towards contacts and your $200 allowance towards frames are in network, whereas out of network, it would be 110. So you'd max your allowance by staying in network. But again, you do have in and out of network benefits. Now we begin with the coverages through Allstate, and the first one being the accident plan. The accident plan is truly Allstate's number one plan across the nation because it covers injuries not only at work, but on your personal time, a sports injury, maybe a car accident, any external force that causes trauma to you is legally defined as an accident. And that is what the accident plan covers. One of the questions that we get a lot is, well, I have major medical. Why do I need the accident plan? The reason is because your major medical is paying your providers, the facilities that you may get treated at, whereas the accident plan and any of the other coverages, they pay you directly as the member. Something as simple as a slip and fall under the accident plan would be a $400 claim that you can get paid out. We've seen a lot of testimonials and utilization of this accident plan since we've been doing this program with anything from slip and falls, cuts, burns, even broken limbs. So it is a very benefit-rich offering. And what it also offers is a very nice wellness incentive as well, where by doing any two preventative activities during the year, such as a physical, a dental cleaning, a vision checkup, anything that's preventative, each person that's enrolled can get two $50 wellness claims paid out per year. So in theory, a family of four doesn't need to get injured to make $400 a year, for example. So it is a very popular option. And again, very a la carte. If you want to do it for your entire family, that's an option. If you wanted to do it, let's say you and or just your children, that's also an option. So as you're connecting with one of our enrollment team members, you're in the driver's seat letting us know what coverages best meet your needs right now. But the accident plan, a very popular option. The next option from Allstate is the whole life insurance. The whole life insurance is a little different from term, whereas term has that death benefit that's protecting you for a defined period of time. But whole life, as long as the policy is active and in force, you have that death benefit protecting you. Employees can get up to $150,000 worth of whole life coverage. Their spouse can get up to $75,000, and dependent children can also get life insurance, but because they age out, they would only be able to get a term policy up to 20,000. What we usually see is the employee themselves really being the primary person that enrolls. And again, you can get up to 150,000 of coverage with no, again, medical screenings, no medical questions, nothing like that. It is age-based, so a younger employee that is, let's say, maybe 30 versus a 60-year-old employee will have more purchasing power because they'll have their rates will be lower than an older employee. But again, as we go through the enrollment with you, you'll let us know if this is something that is of interest to you. Also, with the life insurance, it does build cash value over time, and it also has the ability to be converted into long-term care should you need that level of care. So you do have those two added bonuses, if you will, besides the death benefit that's protecting you when you get the whole life insurance policy through Allstate. The next policy is the critical illness plan, which if you're familiar with Aflac's cancer plan, this is very similar but more comprehensive in that it not only covers cancer, but it covers heart attack, stroke, major organ failure, paralysis, loss of a limb, total loss of hearing. There's a whole schedule, not just within the critical illness, but in all of the plans that we're offering. If you go to coreinsurance360.com, we have all of the PDFs for all of the coverages available there. And you'll see, for example, under the critical illness plan, the entire schedule of all the covered illnesses. You as the employee are choosing the face value of either $10, $20, or $30,000 that you would like to be enrolled in. And upon the diagnosis of, God forbid, any of those critical illnesses that are listed in the brochure, that would be the payout to you. And again, all of the claim dollars, not only from the critical illness plan, but from any of the plans, they're all non-taxable. So you are not paying taxes if you're getting, let's say, a lump sum of 20,000. We actually had an employee that we managed their major medical for as well, and they were diagnosed with leukemia. They had reached out to us to get their prior authorization going for their chemo drug, but we reminded them that they were also enrolled in the critical illness plan. And believe it or not, they got their $20,000 payout before their pre-auth came through for their chemo drug. So Allstate, and really one of the reasons we went with Allstate was because they do pay out their claims pretty quickly. Usually claims are paid out 3 to 7 business days. And this member, again, received this $20,000 lump sum payout that for her, it went a long way because she was out of work for a while. And this really helped supplement her income while she was hospitalized getting treated for her cancer diagnosis. Also, with the critical illness plan, you do have one wellness claim that you can file a year. The accident plan, again, has two, but the critical illness has one. And again, anything preventative like a dental cleaning, a vision checkup, even a mammography, for example, all of that that is preventative would be considered eligible for the wellness claim to be paid out. And again, it is a $50 wellness claim per person that's enrolled. The next plan that we have available is the hospital plan, which is basically that. It is a hospital plan that will pay you out for the days that you are hospitalized. So you have to be admitted into the hospital and at least for a 24-hour period of confinement. And for example, under Plan 2, your first night's payout would be $800, and then it would be $100 per day after that. We see this as a very popular option for employees or spouses that are pregnant and know that they're going to have that baby in a hospital setting. Also, if you have maybe a chronic condition that requires that you have hospitalizations throughout the year, or even if you have something that's coming up, like a major surgery, like we did recently, we enrolled someone that had a major spine surgery coming up. They enrolled in the hospital plan because they knew that they were going to be there at least a day and a half, if not more. So again, a very good option to have. especially if maybe you have a deductible or anything with your major medical. This would be great to marry that together with the hospital plan. So a very nice way to combine those benefits as well. And then the last plan that we have is the identity theft protection, which is a monitoring service of your name, social security number, and date of birth on the dark web. It also includes $1 million worth of coverage should your identity be stolen. And within that $1 million, 500,000 specifically towards stolen funds. So if you have somebody who racks up a bunch of debt in your name or somehow fraudulently withdraws money from your bank account, you have that within the $1 million of protection, you have the 500,000 specifically allocated towards stolen funds. And again, whenever you file a claim on any of the plans, you would do it directly on Allstate's member portal. And again, we would also continue to be the team supporting you post-enrollment should you ever have a benefit question or a claim matter that we can assist with. So just to go over in a little bit more detail, uh, employees are using their, as I mentioned at the very beginning, their payroll taxes in order to fund the cost of these policies. So if you can see all the way here on the left, this is what a typical paycheck looks like pre-360 enrollment, where this employee is paying a certain amount towards federal, Social Security, and Medicare payroll taxes. Once they enroll in the program, they're going to see some different codes in their pay stub, which in essence will have their three federal payroll contributions lowered, and that lowering is what generates that budget of monies that is used to fund the cost of the additional insurance that you're getting. So as you can see in both of these examples, the net pay for this employee actually went up about $8, but there's never going to be a situation where if you stay under your budget, your net pay is going to decrease. So that really is the beauty of it, that instead of coming out of pocket and having a reduction in pay, your payroll taxes that you're already contributing to are now being reallocated, a portion of them, not all of them, but a portion of them to fully fund the cost of the additional insurance that you're getting, not only for yourself, but also if you choose to enroll your family in it with no reduction in that take home pay. And that's really the big takeaway, that you're getting additional insurance fully funded by your existing payroll taxes that you're already contributing to. Employees who would like to go ahead and learn more about their enrollment options can certainly connect with one of our enrollment team members. The amount of policies that you're able to get really depends on a few factors, such as your budget, your age, especially in the case of life insurance and critical illness, which are both age-based, and also if you're enrolling in single versus to dependents, to adults, or family coverage. The website that you can visit to go ahead and schedule a virtual appointment is coreinsurance360.com, and there's a section there called enrollment. You can schedule a specific time and date that maybe works best for you. We have availability anytime from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 to 12. And all of the plan brochures are also listed on that website, so coreinsurance360.com. You can also call our office at 1-800-684-2157, or you can send us an email and we can communicate with you that way as well. I know that we will be at your office starting this Friday. We will have a morning session and an afternoon session, so hopefully we'll be able to connect with most, if not all of you in person on Friday. And while open enrollment began yesterday, it will end Friday, April 3rd, with all of the coverages effective May 1st. Employees who do not choose to enroll this year for whatever reason will not be able to enroll until next year's open enrollment. You will have an annual enrollment opportunity to go ahead and make any changes or anything like that. But throughout the year, if you have a qualifying life event, such as you get married, or you have the birth of a newborn, or in the case of maybe a divorce or anything like that, those are all the same way that under your medical plan, you would have the ability to have a qualifying life event to make changes outside of open enrollment. And as I mentioned, this is the website that we've created custom for your group, and this is our contact information. But other than that, Kathy or anyone else, are there any questions or anything else that maybe you'd like to touch upon? And I do see a question here that just came in through the chat. How do we find out what our budget is and what happens if we don't stay within it? Does this impact our filing returns in any way? So let me tackle that first question because there is a second question there. So your budget, we have that underwritten and calculated already. You would have to either call, email, or connect with us in person. We will give you that information as it's going to be slightly different for everybody because, again, it's based on your payroll information, your pre-tax withholdings, whether you're married or single. So there are quite a few variables that determine what someone's budget is. But connecting with us, we can tell you what your budget is per pay and what you can afford to get with that budget. And then we can put some options together for you based on your preferences. And then you can make the final decision as to how you would like to allocate your budget. The next question was, does it impact how we file our taxes in any way? No, on the contrary, it's actually an enhancement because what the program does, besides fully funding the cost of additional insurance for you and or your family, it reduces the amount of federal taxes that you're taxed upon. So because it reduces that amount, you're going to be taxed on less federal dollars because New Jersey state income tax is not part of this at all. So it reduces the amount that the federal government taxes you upon, which I know many of you, like myself, we're right now in the middle of tax season. We're doing our taxes and we're looking for ways to reduce how much we are paying in income tax. This program helps in that. So that it's actually an enhancement as a part of it. Another question that I see here is for the accident plan, how does it apply if we have this coverage already through Guardian? No impact whatsoever. If you have any of these coverages already through another carrier, there's no impact at all. You can choose to keep both. And for example, if you had an accident and you wanted to file a claim under both Guardian and Allstate, you're more than welcome to do that. But the Guardian plan is reducing your take-home pay. So that really is the difference. Whereas the Allstate coverage for the accident plan, for example, again, fully funded by your payroll tax savings. Any other questions? Okay. Well, with that said, we will wrap up a little earlier. And like I said, we will be in your office this Friday, the 20th. We'll have morning and afternoon sessions there. And we are very much looking forward to connecting with you. And if you think of anything after this webinar, please feel free to call us or send us an email, and we'd be happy to assist in answering any of those questions. I appreciate everyone's time today and have a good rest of your afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Have a great one.
Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.